Greetings Xbox players, John here, this time with the first look at the performance profile of Final Fantasy XV running on Xbox One. Earlier today we posted a look at the performance on Sony's platforms, but now I have a copy of the game on Xbox One as well, and have a pretty good idea of how it's running. The first thing to think about here is just how far Square-Enix has come on the Xbox platform. If you go back to the original Episode to Sky demo released early last year, the Xbox One version was running at 720p with very poor image quality and an extremely low frame rate. It was certainly a cause for concern, but with each new showing, things started looking up, and in its final form, the results are quite good. In a way, the Xbox One version kinda does a complete 180 on the PS4 Pro version running in the high quality mode, in terms of image quality and stability, which is both good and bad. You see, on one hand, the image quality here is significantly less refined on Xbox One, with a maximum resolution of 900p that often drops lower due to an adaptive resolution feature. This is a pretty blurry looking game due to the lower resolution and an extremely aggressive temporal anti-aliasing, but it is an improvement over that original demo. But fear not, Xbox fans, as Microsoft's console has its own advantage as well. Unlike what we found on the PS4 thus far, there are absolutely no frame pacing issues at all on Xbox One. That's right, the annoying issue I mentioned in the other video is nowhere to be seen here, leading to a much more consistent level of fluidity. Straight out of the gate, the game just looks better in motion on Xbox One than even the light mode on PS4, which, while pretty good overall, still can suffer from minor frame pacing issues at times. Now that doesn't mean that the Xbox One is perfect in terms of performance, however. During combat and other busy sequences, we often notice the game dropping just below 30 frames per second, especially as the effects start to ramp up. Even in those situations though, the game never really feels jerky due to a very nice adaptive Vsync solution here. Basically, vertical sync is held at all times, provided the game is meeting its 33 millisecond frame time objectives, but when it falls below that, torn frames can be introduced. The method employed here ensures that tear lines only appear along the uppermost portion of the screen, however, and many of those torn frames occur only within the first few pixels even. I almost never ran into this during normal exploration or during the normal cutscenes either, so it appears to be mostly confined to battle sequences at this point. You can see what I'm talking about in the video here.
Yeah, scrap heaps of guys wish they had a tree to protect them.
It's a pretty good solution, I think. And this approach is fascinating to me then because it actually offers some hope for the PS4 version as well. Without seeing the code, of course, I can only offer conjecture here, but I think it's safe to say that implementing the Xbox One's adaptive vertical sync into the PS4 version would actually solve frame pacing issues there as well. It's interesting to think about since, technically speaking, the PS4 version is actually running faster, hitting its 30 frames per second target at almost all times, but the micro-stuttering caused by inconsistent frame persistence results in a game that feels much jerkier overall. So yeah, this is what we have on Xbox One then. A lower resolution with a heavy temporal anti-aliasing alongside a mostly stable 30 frames per second with occasional bouts of tearing along the top of the screen. This ultimately makes for a rather curious situation then, as there is currently no perfect version of Final Fantasy XV available. So breaking it down, it kinda looks like this. If you can't stand bad frame pacing, then only the Xbox One version offers an experience completely free of it. Directly behind that then you have the PS4 Pro running in the light mode. Now of course, if you can't stand an especially blurry image, and you don't mind bad frame pacing, then clearly you should go for the PS4 Pro and its high quality mode. Which is why, for my money at least, the best two choices here are either the PS4 Pro version running in the light mode, which nets you decent image quality, solid performance, and only minor frame pacing issues, or the Xbox One version, which despite being incredibly blurry at times, feels more consistent in motion most of the time due to proper frame pacing throughout. So this is definitely a case where each player is going to have to make a decision for themselves. You have the information you need now, so based on this, pick whichever platform suits your needs, and you should be good to go. Of course, this is just a quick performance-focused video here, and I'm planning additional Final Fantasy XV coverage to highlight the impressive graphics engine on display here. Yes, it has some problems, but what the team has achieved is highly impressive here from a technical perspective, and I want to take the time to explore that. But that's all I have here for the moment. If you found this video useful, be sure to give us a like, subscribe, and follow us on Twitter. And if you have any further questions on the game, feel free to ask away. But until next time, this is John signing off.
Yeah!